My name is Doreen Allen, and I am from Collegeville, Pennsylvania, and I am the author of TIANA and BRIANA, The Problem with Miss Perfect. This is my first book in a series. Book 2 should be coming out soon. These two little girls were inspired from my daughter, my actual daughter, TIANA, who passed away in 2005. To get through the healing and to keep her with me, I just wanted to create a character that was kind of like her and put her in different situations that helps people, because that's what she was. And so I gave her a twin, just because, you know, just to identify with other people out there and to get that in there. So, so TIANA and BRIANA were created, and so they go through different situations of helping people. So that's what the series is about. I am a reader. That is one of my favorite pastimes, is reading. I have my own book club. Actually, I have 2 book clubs, one with children and then one with adults. And I didn't really get into writing until this point. Okay. That wasn't my aspiration to be a writer. It was, I just love reading. I love reading other people's things. I don't think anyone in particular stood out. I like Toni Morrison. I love Carl Weber. But I never thought of writing that. I never even really thought that I could write like that. So it never stayed in me to do something like that. Like, oh, no, I just want to read. That's all I want to do. I just want to read. And then later, because I'm a 5th grade teacher as well, so I'm seeing these kids are not reading like they should, and it was very disappointing. How do you not love to read? So, I mean, people died for us to be able to read, and now we don't want to read. So it was that disappointment, and I was like, well, what is a way for me to kind of get them to enjoy it? I tell them all the time, like, how do you not want to go on an adventure? You know, you're reading about this character. They could take you places that you've never been. They could tell you things and you can learn from them. So I think it wasn't necessarily from other writers. It was just the experiences of my life that brought all this together. But those other writers helped me to enjoy the love of reading. Yeah, I think that's really important. It's really important to have that love for reading, because I read so much that I now not only read for the enjoyment of understanding what they're trying to say or what the storyline is, but I'm also now, because now I know I want to be a writer, now I'm looking at the way they write as opposed to what they're writing. Now I'm like, oh, I see their style here. Oh, I see this person's style. So now I'm like, oh, maybe I can pick up some of those type things. So now I'm with a different focus as I'm reading now. Not only am I enjoying it, but now I'm learning as I'm going. There are those different techniques. I'm not going to say that I think as a writer there should be a responsibility, but I think that we all go into writing with a purpose. And in my lifetime and being a teacher, I see a lot of things. I hear a lot of things from the children. So with those things that I hear and I see, I did feel like I had a responsibility. For me, I only can speak for me. with my responsibility, what I wanted to do was I wanted to give them a book they can enjoy, but I also wanted to give them a message, something where they can learn from it. So I felt like that was a responsibility that I wanted to take on for these kids, and really for my children, because I look at all of my students as my children, and I want to be there for them. So I did feel like I had a responsibility to them. Yeah, that's funny that you say that. Well, a lot of the names are from my students, and the particular students that like just gravitate towards me and that really capture my heart. So I wanted to kind of, you know, give them some credit or give them a little shout out kind of. And so I put their name in there. So when they see their name, like, oh my God, Miss Hampton, you used my name, you know. So I do kind of take their personalities, you know, because there's 2 other main characters in here. So I did kind of take little bits and pieces of them and put them in my character. So that, yeah, that is part of it in there. I just write those little things down because I know that those are things that I want to include in there, because I know that's what the character, that's what they're feeling. So I want to put that in there. So I write those down as well, yeah.
Yo, what's up? It's your man, the Indicator. You know what it is. My name is the Indicator. Indicator, enough said on that one.
Tune in, man.
Right now it's on Amazon, and I've been promoting it myself because I'm not a well-known author. It's my first book. No one's ever heard of me before, so it's hit or miss. My school, which I worked, had a book signing, which we did phenomenal there, of course, because they all know me. I'm still trying to promote it and still trying to push it out there. And my goal is not to be well-known. It's just I want to put this book in the hands of as many children as I possibly can. You know, I don't have to be well-known, but I do want to promote literacy, and I do want to promote that children read. I want them to have a joy and a love for it. So that's really my goal there. I don't see enough. Even growing up, I didn't pick up books with people that look like me, or little, kids that look like me. And that was one of the reasons why I wanted to have my little girl on the cover too, was because I wanted little girls to see themselves, or a little girl that looked like them, and gravitate towards that, like, oh wow, I've never seen someone that looked like me in books. Oh, we're in books too, because that wasn't the case for me. And even at my school now, there's not enough diversity. But also with my book, there is a Caucasian boy, there's an Asian boy, and I wanted to bring them all together, so you can see them playing together, solving things together, and coming together, that we can all be together, but with the focus of the little black girls. That's what I wanted. And the little black girls are kind of leaders, and they guide the other little kids. And then in book 2, we introduce a Puerto Rican girl in there as well. So I wanted to kind of get everybody, have this melting pot. Well, I've been thinking about maybe doing a spin-off of the 2 boys, so that I can get more boys into reading. So I was thinking about creating a series with just the boys and having them highlighted as well, and then maybe bringing in some other characters so that we can get the boys reading. Because I do find, being around the children, that I see a lot more girls reading than I see boys. And I think it's, and the boys, but what they do read is the graphic novels. Nothing wrong with it as long as they're reading, but I would like to see them read more chapter books, things like that, things that are more above level than graphic novels, because those kind of are taken from the video games and stuff. Like, let's get away from that a little bit, and let's read about some issues that you boys are going through. So I did, that is a thought that I'm going with, having the boys have their own. But I also dabbled a little bit with adult writing. So I do have one that I've started years back that I thought I could get into. So I'm thinking about picking that back up again. But I'm torn between, I really want to be known as a children's author. And so when you come out with something that's for the adults, I don't want it to overshadow where my heart is and what I'm known for. So I'm kind of, I got to really think about how I want to go about that. Okay, that's interesting that you say that. And as you're asking that, I'm thinking of a connection to the book, book 2 in the series. And I think that Black Lives Matter, all lives matter, but it starts with us individually loving ourselves. And when you love yourself, you can love others. And book 2 just happens to be about that very issue, loving yourself. And so the girls start this whole big campaign about loving yourself in order to love other people. And so they make t-shirts, they make flyers, and they get, you know, a bunch of other kids together to spread that word. Like, we have to love ourselves, because they come across this new character who doesn't love herself. So she tries to do all these different things to fit in, and she doesn't show who she is. And she says, I don't want to show who I am because I'm afraid people won't like the real me. And so with that, if she only loved herself, if she began to love herself, she would be able to respect and appreciate others. So I think that's what we need to start teaching our children, because self-esteem is so low. It's so low. And what I'm seeing in school too is that if a child doesn't have, say for instance, that brand name sweatshirt or that type sneaker or whatever, then, oh, we can't associate with you. You know, you don't have, you know, so it's not about that. So let's look deeper. So you can respect that child or that person if you had some values about loving yourself. So I think we have to start there first, and book 2 is really going to hit on that. Each book is going to have a different message. Like for this one, The Problem with Miss Perfect, they believe that she doesn't like children when they first meet her. And that's how she comes across, that she doesn't like children. But in there, friendship emerges. The two girls didn't immediately take to the boys, so they had to get through those difficulties, and you see some problem solving going on. And then a friendship emerges with them, a friendship emerges with their neighbor, some healing goes on, and they, so you have some themes there, some messages there of healing, of friendship, of surviving. And in, you know, book 2, you have that loving yourself, finding who you are, you know, identity. So you have those. And so, you know, and we're going to continue that in each book, that theme, that overall message, because at the end of the day, too, I'm a teacher. So I want teachers to be able to use my books in a way to convey that. Teachers have to teach theme. Okay, so what's the theme in this book? Use my book to be able to do that. What is the author trying to say when a character says this? So you can use my book in different ways. I also included like study guide questions in the back of the book. There's questions, and they're geared towards the way that they're going to be tested. So I might ask a question at the end, and I'll say, where can you find that evidence in the text to support your answer? I would say first, find something that you like to talk about. Find whatever it is that you want to express and just start writing. Don't think about the end result. Don't think about where you're trying to go. Just get it all out. Because I didn't have a format. I did look into, you know, Googling how people started writing and all that. And I did start, you know, going off of some of those things, and I was like, you know, I tossed it. This is not working for me. What's working for me is just writing it down, just getting it all out, and then later go back and reread it again. What makes sense? What doesn't make sense? Why did I say that? What connections am I trying to make? So at the end of the day, just find that passion and write about it, and just get it out there, and just start editing later. Right now, TIANA and BRIANA have their own page, so you can just go on Facebook and type in TIANA and BRIANA, and they come up. And I just pretty much put out there where I'm going to be, if at different bookstores. You know, get it for. They make great birthday gifts, Christmas gifts, things like that. But just putting it out there, and you can find TIANA and BRIANA on Facebook.